What's up, game bayos and girls? Big T here, back with another video. And of course, this video is about the recent controversy of the voice actor for Bayonetta coming out and saying she was only offered $4,000 USD for her services, which is a travesty. I believe her name is Helena Taylor. I think it's pronounced Helena. I can't remember how she said it. But usually I think the Brits say Helena instead of Helena. I'm pretty sure they do both. But anyway, Miss Taylor put out a recent video. Actually, a few videos. I haven't seen the others. I'll talk about them because I have varying degrees of agreeance, if you will. But let's get the nonsense out of the way first. So whenever something like this happens and people go to their Twitter feeds or their YouTube channels and declare, I'm not buying this thing or whatever, I'm supporting this person, and declaring that, people act like there's something wrong with that. I don't like the idea that there's something outwardly wrong with declaring your stance on something. You're just outright virtue signaling, and I don't like the idea that you saying you have a certain stance on something is called virtue signaling, which of course is a negative connotation today, because people declare all kinds of things on the on their social media channels. People may decide to let you know that they shaved their mustaches incorrectly. People just, like to say what they're doing. People show you what the foods they're eating when they go out to dinner. So this actually has some weight. It actually has some matter in the world, because it's a situation where it's video games that we, if you're watching this, you're a fan of, and you would like the thing that you like to be as virtuous as possible. Obviously, every industry has issues, and that's the truth. But that's not an excuse for the issues, because everybody does it. I don't like that either. It's like, well, they do this and this company does that, and that's not a reason to just kind of dismiss it. I don't. That's kind of lazy to me. And you don't have to have a stance on anything, obviously. But I don't like the idea of that you declaring something is automatically you're virtue signaling. Maybe people just like to talk about what they're doing, especially if you're a gaming YouTube channel. People want to know, like your followers would probably want to know, what's your stance on that? What are you doing? What is somebody going to say when somebody asks you? Say you have a bunch of people on your YouTube channel asking you, what are you going to do? Are you going to be like, oh, I don't want to discuss that. That's a personal matter. I mean, it's ridiculous. So that's outright nonsense. And how is that any different than people touting their support for something? Oh, because you have people counteracting that, saying, well, I'm buying 3 copies. Is that not virtue signaling? I'm supporting the devs. Well, the devs got paid already. And the only thing that may be withstanding is if they get incentives based on sales. And looking at the fact that they're only giving the voice actor, the voice of Bayonetta. This isn't just some random voice actor. This is the voice of Bayonetta. They're only offering her $4,000. I doubt there's going to be many, if any, incentives for developers. So saying you're supporting the devs, well, you don't really have to in that way, because the devs probably won't be getting any more money. They've been paid for their work already. So I don't know. So to me, if you're gonna say one thing's virtue signaling, so is trumpeting that the fact that you're gonna buy 2 copies to offset that guy's not buying a copy. I mean, that's just how is that not silly? You're no more virtuous than the people saying they're not buying it. Second of all, I've heard this compared to the weirdest things I've heard this compared to Pro Jared. Okay, I've heard this compared to like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. This is nothing like any of those things at all. This is about a worker not getting paid for their services, or not getting paid adequately for their services. I don't know why everything has to become like this is like a gender war because she's a woman. That then she's compared to, well, you got to make sure she's not Amber Heard. I'm like, that really? Are we not listening to the arguments that we're making? I mean, that's just kind of crazy. You can say, well, let's get all the information. Let's listen to all the information without comparing it to like Pro Jared. Like, what? How is this any way similar to Pro Jared? You can just say, hey, let's get all the information, or at least much information as we can, before you make a judgment. That's fine. That's literally okay. But to try to compare it to some kind of gender war, men versus women, believe women, don't believe women thing, that's, you got to listen to what you're saying. That's kind of crazy. So that's nonsense that needs to get out of the way. And I also have a problem with people, because I don't remember, because David Hayter also had issues with Konami and Kojima about them trying to get rid of him. They tried to get rid of him a few times before they actually got rid of him. They tried to get rid of him before Snake Eater. They tried to get rid of him before, I think, Metal Gear Solid 4. They tried to get rid of him. He basically had to re-audition for his part because they were trying to pay somebody less, and they just couldn't find anybody that was adequate enough, or at least they thought at the time was adequate enough. And Kojima, he likes his his actors and stuff. He likes his Hollywood actors. He's obsessed to the point where he commissioned, oh my God, what's his name? The 24 actor. I can't remember his name right now. Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland, to do the role, because he's just upset. He just completely dismissed this guy, who is the voice of Snake, who brought you this character, and just threw him away because you have an obsession with Hollywood and Hollywood actors. But I don't remember anybody questioning Troy Baker, David Hayter, about his situation when he let it be known. I don't remember people questioning him about it, saying, oh, let's wait for all the facts from Konami and Kojima. I don't think people were saying that. So on one hand, when I'm telling you not to make this some kind of gender thing, it feels like people are making it a gender thing, because here's this guy. I don't know, maybe people just like Metal Gear Solid more and care more about the franchise than they do about Bayonetta. That's also a possibility, but it's also a bad look if that's how people are, kind of doing it. So that is the nonsense. Let's get the nonsense out of the way. At the end of the day, if you want to buy the damn game, buy the damn game. You don't have to argue with people who aren't buying the game. This idea that somebody's saying, oh, I'm not doing this because they feel like it's a principle stance and they feel like they don't want to do it, shouldn't make you feel guilty. I think that's the reason people don't want to hear your proclamation of what you're going to do, because, oh, if you say this, it makes me feel guilty about actually buying it and not caring about that stuff. No, why are people so goddamn sensitive today? I'm saying today, I'm a dinosaur. People were probably always sensitive, but I just don't remember it. But why are people so sensitive to where, oh no, everybody, don't say what you're going to do because it's going to make me feel bad about what I'm going to do. Or that's the point of what... That's what they're saying. They're saying the point of you pronouncing you're not buying it is to say, look at people and say, oh, people who are buying are the bad people. That's just utter nonsense. That's something that sounds like a you problem, bro. That's a problem with yourself. You're projecting on other people what their reasoning is. Stop doing that. Just stop. It's nonsense. I just don't know why people continue to do that. It's just nonsense. It's utter nonsense. If you want to buy something, buy it. There are plenty of electronics in your house that were brought to you by nefarious means. I have Mac products, and and we all know the history and the current, not just history, but current situations when it comes to Mac. And it's not just Mac, it's all electronics. Somebody is somewhere is being totally disrespected to bring that product to your house. So unless you live in a cave and hunt for your food, you're going to be supporting something that if you knew the depths of, you probably wouldn't want to support. So just when something comes to somebody's, comes to light for somebody and they say, I'm not supporting that, let them feel that way. That's fine. Let them say that. It's okay for them to say that. And it's okay for you to still go out and buy that thing because you want it. Now, for me, this is not pushing me to not buy Bayonetta. I've already been if you've been listening to me on my channel and stuff, talking about, if you're listening to me on the podcast of Juice Loot, I've kind of been talking about how I'm not as excited for it because I feel like Nintendo hasn't made me more excited. And the fact that Helena is not going to be Bayonetta, which is the Bayonetta I know and love, it just kind of takes away something for me already. So I'm still going to buy it at some point. I'm just not going to rush out to buy it. That's how I feel about it. I'm a little bit, torn with the fact that Ms. Taylor asked people to boycott, because this is what happens when you do that. Unfortunately, if people do boycott, she's not getting anything out of it. So it's almost kind of vindictive in a way. And it's just, I think like you would serve yourself better just to say, this is what happened to me. I don't appreciate it. Do with this information what you will, right? And let people make that decision themselves. And they're going to make it anyway. But some people kind of bend to pressure. And if they hear that, they obviously will decide with you, which is fine. I totally feel for your position. And the saddest thing is that I think your videos were on Twitter. Had you put them on YouTube, I don't know how Twitter works, honestly, Twitter videos, but had you put them on YouTube and monetized them, you probably would have made more money than Platinum offered you for this voice role, which is pretty sad. So let me also talk about how it's not just Platinum's fault, it's the industry's fault. I'm sure she's a SAG-AFTRA actress, voice actress, and the unions, for all the money they're given, all the things they're supposed to do. I think voice acting specifically, their union is pretty pathetic, and they don't advocate for more pay. They don't advocate for incentives for the voice actors. That's something they should do. So they're also to blame for this. The only person that is blameless in this is Helena, and she is blameful when it comes to, I think she said some words against Jennifer Hale, the person who took the role, the voice actress who took the role. It's not the same as like her crossing a picket line, like she's just offered a role and she probably got more money. That's another thing that's kind of messed up. We don't know that. We probably never will, but she probably got more money than your Bayonetta. She is the voice of Bayonetta. It's like Charles Martinet, like if Nintendo suddenly replaced him with Chris Pratt. I'm joking, but like in the video games, obviously. Or they told him, hey, we're going to give you such and such for this role. And we're, you're the voice of Mario at this point, and we're going to insult you with this super low pay. And if you don't take it, we'll hire somebody else. That would be pretty messed up. I think that would be terrible. So, all around, it's not a good look. I wish she would have just left it at, this is my story. This is why I didn't get, this is why I'm not the voice actress for Bayonetta going forward. And just let the fans do with that information what they will. Because the fans would have rallied behind you and said, hey, I'm not buying this, without you saying, boycott it. Now, yes, charity, that's a good thing, but charities also can be corrupted, sadly. Anytime you put money into something, it tends to have corruption surrounding it. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, it's just a bad situation all around. But I just wanted to knock out the nonsense. You have the right to say what you're not going to do and what you're going to do. It's not your problem that somebody else is sensitive to that. It's not your problem that somebody else may feel guilty about continuing to buy that thing that you're boycotting. That's their problem. It is okay to declare that on your social media. That's what social media is about. Because these same people go on social media and say, hey, you should buy this game, and you should buy that game. So they're telling you what to do when they're telling you what you should do. But when you say something, that you don't want to do or you shouldn't do, then they have a problem with that. I just think it's weird. Hey, buy this. This is my sponsor. What? You should buy this because this sponsors me. Pay for this product. Like, that's fine. But saying what you won't buy, that's terrible. Like, I don't think people actually think about the words that come out of their mouth sometimes. And, it's unfortunate. And for me, this is not an ill will thing. Like, this is a conversation. We're all having this conversation right now. I have no ill will towards anybody. This does not personally affect me. I'm just a person who cares about the culture of entertainment, culture of gaming. Some people don't care about that. Some people, gaming to them is a bag of chips. Like, I'm hungry, I'm just going to consume this product and move on to the next product when I'm hungry again. And that's all. They don't have that attachment. But for some of us, we have a cultural attachment to this. With my dog barking, we have a cultural attachment to this, and we also have like a personal. This is kind of reflective on us, so we get kind of defensive about this because this is we see this as also part of us, not just a thing we consume. So that's all I got to say about this situation. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I'm not boycotting it really. Like, I wasn't excited for it, and this just makes me less excited for it. I'm sure I'm going to pick it up at some point because I want to play Bayonetta. But not hearing Helena Taylor's voice is going to bother me. The same way I'm sure that not hearing David Hayter's voice for Snake bothered a lot of people. Not hearing Michael Ironside's voice for Sam Fisher and what was it, Blacklist that they changed it for. It bothers people, bothered me as well as a fan. So, it's kind of gonna bludgeon, not bludgeon, but like gonna dour the situation to where I don't care as much. But yeah, that's my take on it. Let people feel how they want to feel. Let people say what they want to say. But I'm gonna buy 3 copies. I'm gonna buy 5. I mean, how is that any lamer or cornier than I'm declaring I'm not buying something? At least that's a real stance and not just I'm anti your stance. That's that's omega corny. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you as always for watching and listening, and I'll see you fools next time. Peace out.